Pencils down.
Ah.
Pencils
Ramble.
down. Pencils.
Ramble.
Pencils. Down. Right there. Down. Down. It's rambling time. What's up, everybody? I would be comedian Jerry Rocha. That right there. That.
Comedian Eddie Pence.
There it is. And together we're the normally there's a third rambler, but
Normally we have Crush to our Axe and Smash.
Crush to our access map, but Crush has been very, very nefariously busy. Nefariously busy? Is that like Tupac would say busy, but in a sleazy way?
Busy.
Do you hear?
I mean, good for him for setting up that pre-taped interview with Tucker and the Big D. Genius move to air it during the debate.
During the debate.
Genius.
When no one will watch.
Move.
It's very good. You heard, though, about there was a Mar-a-Lago employee.
Oh, yeah. He withdrew his false statements.
Did Cody flip? I don't know.
Was he officially in a Mar-a-Lago employee?
I don't know. He was there enough. You and I know he was, he spent enough time there to be one.
Second home.
I mean,
he was filing taxes in Florida. That's what he was doing. How much he was there.
So, boy, the employee who changed their tune, they call him Flipper, faster than lightning. I mean, no question, right?
Insane.
Why else would you unless you flipped? But, great. So, Eddie, this is, I don't know if you know this, 350, wait, let me get it right.
Get it right.
357.
357.
Eddie, you and I have rambled 357.
It's pretty amazing.
When did they call us and say, sorry, guys?
Oh, fuck. Midway. I think we were about 20 minutes into the fourth one.
Right. And they were.
And we both of our phones blew up.
And it was get off now. This will not last. If you want to protect your legacy in any way, you'll end this. And we just
357 though.
The
357, which I believe is the most amount of podcast episodes ever of all time.
We've done it. We have to be number one. This is like issues of Action Comics that are still going. Yeah. I mean, it's just forget it.
We've done more podcasts than anybody.
Anyone else ever. We're also the most successful podcast in the history.
We are the number one rated podcast.
I know it looks like we're in the same locations.
Yes.
But this is so funny because of the Hemp Vita money. Let's just say this.
Yeah.
Because of Hemp Vita.
Let's get it out there. Let's come clean, everybody. But
we're actually these are our yachts in the Cayman Islands we're broadcasting from.
Yeah.
That's what this
We had them dressed up to look like the rooms that we normally
ramble
in.
Right.
But these are actually
yachts, just
yachts
docked. And that might be a reason Cody flipped.
Yeah?
He never really got the Hemp Vita. We didn't share.
Well,
we didn't
it's sort of like when you're an established band for a long time, and then the drummer dies, and you got to bring in a new drummer. He's not technically part of the band.
Right.
He's more of a work for hire guy.
That upset him, though. I think that hurt, and I think that might have led to this alt-right heel turn.
It could have turned him a little, but he just wasn't technically part of the band yet. So why would he should get money for all the back catalog?
Right. We're both in yachts in the Cayman Islands because of that.
Yeah.
And Cody, I think, is still in his apartment in San Antonio, and that's. I mean, I'm sure he's
studio
apartment in San Antonio. It's actually the living room of someone else's apartment, one bedroom that they're renting.
They put a piece of plywood up over the hallway to make it into a room.
They're renting it.
But it wasn't fair to what we had already done in the Ramble to cut him in equally or at all.
Who does he think he is? Who does he think he is? I mean, anyway, but
I mean, if anyone deserves some of the Hemp Vita money, it's Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hacksaw Jim, and we've given him a huge cut of it. He's gotten a little bit too much of a cut of Andrea, if you ask me.
Yeah, he took quite a bit.
He took a little bit of that. He took a little bit too much of that, if you ask me. Well, here at Ramble 357, Eddie. You can email us. I don't know if you knew that. Ramble@theramblepod.com. We have a Twitter page. It's at podcast X, whatever that fucking moron has changed it to. at Podcast Ramble, the number 1. Instagram at Podcast Ramble. We're on YouTube as the Ramble Tube. We have merch, guys. A merch page, TeePublic. Who doesn't? Who's not, that should excite everybody automatically, don't you think?
Right.
Should
we change the Ramble to a single letter?
I think we might.
Should we change the name of the Ramble to a P?
J for jizz.
J
for jizz.
J
there
for
it
jizz.
is. J for jizz. J for jizz.
We may be going forward. We may be known as J.
Just J.
The J Podcast.
The J Podcast. Is that the title? J for J. You know, we can't say jizz, but you know.
Right.
I don't know if Apple. I don't know if Libsyn would let me type jizz in as but.
Do they know what jizz is?
I don't know. I could do the little thingies like the @ sign.
Yeah, do a little @ sign. J.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. J.
Yeah.
For.
Or you get J for jazz, but you really know what we mean.
You know, right? J for jazz, but you know. That's it in parentheses, but you know. That's
you know. If you know, you know.
But you know. So yeah, Brian Hill, still king of the hill, right there.
Still king of the hill.
Seahawks
Still
fan
king of the
87. But please get those 5-star ratings in and those positive text reviews in.
Sure.
And you know, fuck it. Let's pretend you can hear our intro music. Eddie,
Yeah.
do you want to pretend?
Okay.
Do you want to pretend?
I'm already. I'm already in.
Are you already there?
I'm already in it.
I'm lying alone with my head on the phone. Everyone, thinking of you till it hurts. I know you hurt too, but what else can we do? Tormented and torn apart. I wish I could carry a smile in my heart. When times when my life seems so low, it would make me believe what tomorrow could bring when today doesn't really know. Everyone doesn't really know. I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were right, believing for so long. I'm all out of love. What am I without you? I can't be too late to say that I was so wrong. There it is.
Oof.
Are we the air supply of rambling?
We might be.
Are we?
Or the starship.
We built this city.
City.
Everybody shit. That's a great fucking song.
Fucking love that song.
Everyone's like,
love
that's
that
the
song.
worst hit of the 80s. You look at every Music Snobs poll. That's a word. Get Marconi
that the
plays
worst?
the mamba. Listen to the radio.
No.
Don't you remember?
We built
this city.
Great song.
Bow, bow.
It's a fucking jam.
And what an evolution to be Jefferson Airplane,
Right.
then to be Jefferson Starship,
Right.
and then to be Starship. I don't know if another band has had such an evolution like that.
Such a metamorphosis. Such a
Right.
just constantly ascending.
Man.
Just
And did Starship have a bad hit? Sarah. What was the other one? Fucking, of course, We Built This City. And then the Mannequin song. And we can build this thing together. Standing strong forever. Let them say we're crazy. I don't care about that.
I mean, I know we've talked about this before about
Yeah.
finger banging. And
Yes.
some of the great classics.
Oh, some great ones.
But if you have to pick a band to finger bang to,
Starship's
is there a
up
better
there.
Starship?
Starship's up there.
Starship.
And you know, this is still when they were under the Jeffersons guys.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
the last great hit of the Jefferson era was Jefferson Starship. Find your way back to the heart. Find your way back. I mean, find your way back.
You can just masturbate to these songs.
You
I don't even know.
need
You don't
finger
need
bang.
someone else to finger blast. You can
why
just-
why ruin it by bringing? So can you turn it down? You don't need that. No.
You can self-love to these songs.
Exact self-love to every. Is that a better title? You could just say you could self-love to every Starship song. I think we're gonna for now that might beat J for Jazz, Eddie. I think that's a new title. You could just self-love to every Starship.
You could.
Why? How could you not? I mean, and are you kind of weird if you don't?
Kinda
Really
weird if
thinking
you don't
about
at least
it?
Think about it. It doesn't run across your mind. You're a little
If it doesn't run right, if the minute you get aroused and the first thought isn't, well, let me play Jane, you say it's all over for you and me, or dude, maybe the ultimate finger, if only you believed, if only you believed in miracles, so would I.
And if you're self-loving to the song, you're not. This isn't like, let me just see if I can rub one out before someone comes home.
No, they need to see this. They need to see this.
You're leaving the windows open. The curtains are undrawn.
You're telling your
family
may turn on a
webcam. You may turn on a webcam.
I'm telling everyone in the family, come out to the hot tub, gang. Water's good. Water's good in the hot tub.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
Let them say we're crazy. I don't care about that. What about fucking back on Jefferson? Precious love, I give to you. Count on me. Shit. Fucking, what was their other big one? What you doing me with your love? Oh, forget it. We could go on and on, couldn't we? I mean, we could go on and on. Here we are, though. We covered a lot of ground from Air Supply to the Starships, Jeffersons, to the Jeffersons, we should just call them. The Jeffersons. Airplane, Starship. Moving
Talk about
on
a
up.
finger blast. Moving on up. That's a finger blast.
All right, okay, wait a minute.
If you had to do it to a sitcom theme.
Okay. Is it that, or is it Good Times?
Oh.
Or do you have okay, let me ask you. I'm not saying
or
this
Family
wins.
Ties. Family Ties is
What would we do, baby without us? Sha-la-la-la.
You want to light some candles,
What would
lay
we
out a
do,
blanket
baby?
on the floor, just have a good time with yourself.
Oh, fuck. Boy, I got one for you, though. All right. But, I mean, let's just pretend. You got a lady friend over, right?
Okay, sure.
And she doesn't know if she wants to finger bang.
Right.
And then over the speakers comes in 1972 a crack commando unit was sent to prison. I mean, huh?
You just hear an audible zip as that fly comes down.
And you're bum ba da bum ba da bum bum ba da ba da bum bum ba da bum bum ba da. What about now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum? What might be right for you may not be right for some. I mean,
you take the good, you take the bad.
Take them all, and there. But I think
that's a whole house full of chicks, man.
But now, maybe we're double dipping with our with a Ramble Hall of Famer. But where does this rank? Give me a break, cause I know I need. I mean,
No, Carter, man.
You're getting your dick sucked to give me a break. Forget finger banging.
Don't forget Mr. Belvedere.
You're right on the China, never right to refund. You are. They're going. You're balls deep in that person's mouth if that song starts. What other podcast what else do y'all need to hear? We've covered.
I don't know. We're on 358 now, I think.
Exactly. He's a small wonder. Oh.
That's a little creepy, but I guess.
Or here we are, face to face, a couple of silver spoons, hoping to find with two. Wait, how many of that era went alt-right? We had
whole thing.
Schroeder went alt-right. Fucking
Charles in Charge went alt-right.
Charles in Charge went alt-right.
The other guy, Kirk Cameron went alt-right.
Kirk Cameron's alt-right. His sister went alt-right. Oh, fuck. Man.
Rough, man.
It's rough. We lost a lot. We lost a lot of greats.
We did.
Brian Hill. Speaking of Brian Hill, greetings, fellow Ramblers. This is Brian Hill, a.k.a. Seahawks fan 87. Since Halloween is coming up and haunts are getting ready to start, if you aren't doing anything, don't want to spend a lot of money, come to Castle Park, or as it's called, Castle Dark. I've worked there for 5 years. Eddie's been there during COVID. Please come check it out. It's so fun. You can go live, interact with us, and we do the same video. Keep up the funny. For all you Ralph Report listeners, rest in peace to Steve Ashton. Always made me laugh. Keep up the funny. Thank you, Brian Hill. Fuck yeah. What is this
Castle
Castle
It's a good time
Dark?
down there.
Nice. Where's it at?
Like oh God, where was it? I'm sure Brian could send us the information. It's like one of those it's like a putt-putt area, the miniature golf place. But it's sort of like a little amusement park area. And
what part of town are we talking about here?
It's south, I think.
Okay, like near me?
Right before everything shut down. No, it was everything was shut down. It was right when everything was starting to open back up a little bit. That's what it was. It was October of 2020.
Nice.
I went down there I took the family down there. We had a good time.
That's cool.
Played some putt-putt, went through a haunted maze.
Ain't nothing better than that. Ain't nothing better than some putt-putt.
I think it's called Castle Park Golf or something like that.
Castle Park and Halloween. Fuck yeah. Anthony, too cool for school. Flores, Jerry, Eddie, maybe Cody. Not today. Mi gente. Hey there, fellas. Hate that I missed last week. Rest in peace, Paul Rubens. I hope he finds his bike, man. Dude, absolutely. Now on to Eddie's higher education. After defeating the Nero's Gundam, Doman arrives in New York City as it's a buzz about Chibody Crockett, the Gundam fighter of Neo America, and his Gundam Maxter. Domon interrupts Chibody during a boxing fight and challenges him to a Gundam fight. After officials from Neo America set a trap for Domon, Chibody refuses to fight unless it's fair and square. I know a lot about fair and square, by the way, guys. Domon defeats Chibody and instead of finishing him off, finds a new ally. On to the next adventure as our hero searches for his brother and the Devil Gundam. All right, there we go. Look at that.
He knows a lot about fair and square.
Fair and square. I know a lot about fair and square. Barry Manilow. It's time for your Hall of Fame hat. What Barry Manilow song? Eddie, was this hard for you?
Not really. I kind of just have. Yeah, it wasn't too difficult. I'm not super invested in his whole catalog, so it's not like I had like all these songs that I love to choose from.
I write the songs that make the world. Nothing for that one, Eddie. That never did it for you.
I mean, there's a few there that I like. I enjoy listening to, but it wasn't like
Her name was Lola. Nothing. She was a showgirl.
Pick your favorite Pearl Jam song. It wasn't that level.
It wasn't that.
What do I do?
Not quite in that region. The man's. He didn't quite get. He had not quite hit Pearl Jam level for you.
No, he didn't.
Well, let me tell you, man. Gary Priest, Jeeps. Hey, Jerry, Eddie, and Cody. Hope you're all well. Same to you. Here are my lists, and thank you. One voice. Not as well known as some, but this one always stuck with me. There we go. See, Eddie? You're already learning about Manilow. One voice. Jeremy Bienvenu. Bienvenu. I'm not sure this email will make it in time as I'm submitting after a surprise Saturday Retro Rocha. That's right. But hopefully it makes it. If not, it's Commissioner's fault. True. For streaming unexpectedly and pushing the submission back an hour or so. These fucking podcasters. All right.
Fucking podcasters.
What hat? He goes, her name was Lola. She was at the Copa Cabana. Owen Edmonds. Hello, Jerry, Eddie, and hopefully Cody. The European #1 contender is back, baby. Apologies, I've been away. No worries, man. I started a new role recently. He's absolutely messed up my head so much and gotten rid of any free time I had. What hat? No major fan of Manilow, so I have to go with the only song of his I like, Copacabana. Catchy as shit. Anthony, too cool for school. Flores. This hat wasn't hard at all. Mandy. Easily the best song by everyone's favorite closeted gay uncle. Very Manilow. The American Dream, Dustin Jacobs. Barry Manilow hat, Mandy. Eddie, I had to go Mandy as well.
You went Mandy.
Remember all my life, raining down as cold as ice.
Sure.
Shadows of a man. There it is. What was yours?
Sure. Copacabana.
Her name was Lola. I mean, that's his home run. That's his encore. That's his encore.
Yeah.
You know it's time to leave once you've heard that song. You're not leaving if that hadn't been played yet.
That's his Sweet Caroline, you know?
Right. Ramble 358. How about this one, Eddie? Superhero performances. What goes on the Hall of Fame? Is it Adam West as Batman? Is it Downey Jr. as Tony Stark? Is it
Christopher
Michelle
Reeve as
Pfeiffer as
Superman.
Catwoman? Reeve as Superman. Keaton as Batman.
Halle Berry as Catwoman.
Halle Berry as Catwoman. But she more than makes up for it with Halle Berry as Storm.
Absolutely.
So
when I think of Storm, I think of Halle Berry.
Halle Berry. When I think of Catwoman, I think of anything but Halle Berry.
I do not think of Halle Berry at all. I think of a woman dressed like a cat.
Yes.
Any woman.
So, and now it's time we open, close, encore. Faith No More. What a... Happy they got a little bit of a push with Guardians. With the We Care A Lot scene for Guardians. What would they open, close, and encore with? Gary Priest, Jeeps. We Care A Lot. Easy. Their cover of Easy is so good. 'Cause I'm easy. Yeah. Then you end it with Midlife Crisis. Bienvenue, news. You open with We Care A Lot. You close with The Perfect Crime. You encore with Epic. Man, that's a good one. Yeah. Owen Edmonds. Edmonds. Faith No More. Now you're talking my language. Is the real thing is in my top 10 of all-time albums list. The band opens with the title track to that album, The Real Thing. Mike Borden's incredible drummer, who is often overlooked. He really is. They close with Ashes to Ashes. Is that I'm here alone on the telephone line? I think that's Ashes. That's Ashes. That's a great album, though. I think that's from Album of the Year. The encore with the medley of hits from The Real Thing. Epic from Out of Nowhere. Woodpecker from Mars. Before a final encore of Easy, sending the audience home happy. Anthony, too cool for school Flores. So this week's open close encore. Faith No More opens with the big hit Epic. They close with We Care A Lot, and they send everyone home on cloud 9 with their cover of Easy. Man, Dustin Jacobs, The American Dream, Abstain, more of a one-hit wonder for him. All right.
Okay, shots fired at Faith No More.
Shots fired at Faith No More, jeez. I have them open with Land of Sunshine.
Okay.
I'm closed with The Small Victory.
Okay.
And then you encore Woodpecker from Mars. Eddie, what was yours?
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I open with Epic.
Ooh, that's a great
Open
one.
with Epic.
That's a great one.
I close with We Care A Lot.
Great.
And then I encore Zombie Eaters.
Zombie Eaters. Hey, you're going deep.
I'm going deep cuts.
Deep cuts. Look at that, man. We kind of both had a little deep cutty run there. Ramble 358. They tried to make her go to rehab, and she said, no. What would Amy Winehouse open? Close and encore with. Get those emails in now. Ramble at theramblepod.com. Time to read books, play video games. Bring that pussy over here, Eddie. We're reading books and playing games. Jeremy Bienvenue. He's reading Heir to the Empire for the first time to give me a bit more Thrawn before Ahsoka starts up. My introduction to him was Rebels. So good. So I'm trying to add a bit more to that case as it appears to some Legends references. Right. I wonder if they are going to toss anything in from those, like a little wink from those books. That'd be cool.
They have to, because I think what Filoni's doing, especially leading up to his movie called Heir to the Empire.
You're right.
I think they're sort of taking that storyline, wrapping the cloning in, because if you read Heir to the Empire, the series, the Timothy Zahn series, before you saw Rise of Skywalker, you wouldn't be shocked going, what, the Emperor cloned himself?
Right.
Because that whole book was about the Emperor coming back.
They've been doing this. Right, exactly.
They've been doing this. So they've been slowly pulling from this Timothy Zahn series for a while.
They just kind of rushed it in
Rise of
Skywalker.
Yeah.
Owen Edmonds. Months.
Merms.
I'm still playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Damn, it's so easy to get sidetracked from the main missions. Anthony, too cool for school Flores. I'm in the middle of my second full run of Cyberpunk before the new expansion. I'm about to finish Persona 4, and I finally just picked up We Love Katamari Reroll. For shows, I'm watching the new Futurama, which is excellent, and What We Do in the Shadows. As you all know, I finally beat Tears of the Kingdom, finally beat Cyberpunk 2077. So right now, I am going all back into God of War Ragnarok, and it's so fucking good. Got to finish that one. And I just started playing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with
How is that?
Family. It's so much fucking fun. I've
better than
twice.
Friday the 13th was?
That's still my favorite, but I think it's very close. Yeah, I've played like 15 matches. I've survived 2. It's so fucking good. It's really fun, very intense. It gets very creepy. I love it. Yeah. Eddie, you reading anything? You playing anything?
I am not. Colton is playing. He's fallen into that Red Dead Redemption 2 hole, and he's just so he likes going around and killing people, and then calling me over and go, "Hey, watch this," and he blows their head off as they're laying on the ground, or he shoots them in the asshole.
What else does he need?
So
Genius.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for Madden to come out, or I think it already came out. I got to go pick it up.
Nice.
I forgot
let
if
me
it's
know how
come
it
out
is.
yet or not.
Let me know how it is.
I want to get it.
Yeah, let me know how it is, because maybe we can start doing some Monday Night Football and on my streaming with you, me, and Cody.
That would be fun.
You know, that'd be fun. But yeah, we'll see. That'd be great. You know, I shot my shot, by the way.
Yeah, you did.
So I have a birthday coming up, and Andrea was like, "Hey, so what do you want? You know, any big surprises?" And I just said, "This right here, right there. It's like a $350 gaming headset, the Arctis Nova Pro wireless." She's not gonna get it. She laughed. She scoffed. But I had to shoot my shot, Eddie. I had to shoot my shot.
How dare her laugh?
I know. How dare her laugh? The Arctis
At your
Nova
hopes
Pro
and dreams.
wireless for the PlayStation.
At
I know.
your hopes and dreams.
I know. If she wanted it, I'd have done whatever it took. You know. Whatever.
You know what? Next time she says she wants to do something, let's go on this trip somewhere. Let's go do this. Let's go do that.
Right.
Laugh.
Ha!
And then
Ha!
put on your shitty headset and ignore the rest
And
of the
cry. Gary Priest, top 5. Sorry, it's time for the show to get to the top 5, Eddie. Top 5 all-time bands. This was tough. I don't think I had any band that formed after 1970. I don't think there's one. Maybe one. That's it. I don't know. But man, this was fucking tough. We go with Gary Priest, Jeeps. Apart from the top 2, this changes on a weekly basis. Here are my current choices. Number 5, Radiohead, the most innovative band of the second half of the 20th century. Number 4, Sly and the Family Stone. Without them, no disco, no Prince. Brilliant and overlooked pioneers of modern dance music, absolutely. Number 3, The Who. Fueled by rage, angst, and lust, perfection. Number 2, The Smiths, lyrically and musically far ahead of everyone else in the 80s and beyond. And number 1, The Beatles. This isn't even up for discussion anymore. True pioneers, they did it all, they did it first. Thanks for all the great shows. Jeeps. Jeremy Bienvenu. Honorable mention, CKY, although they've been my favorite band for 20 years, are nowhere near the cut for greatest bands of all time, but I felt they needed at least to be mentioned since I've loved them for so long. Number 5, The Rolling Stones. Their longevity alone makes them one of the greatest. How many other bands are still going after 60 years? Number 4, The Eagles. They're on this list for the same reasons as the Stones, but I like more their music. Number 3, Clutch. A homer pick to be sure, but they've never put out a bad album, and their sound often changes with each one. Steadily putting out great music while changing sounds and genre is a feat, and they've nailed it several times. Number 2, The Who, the first classic rock band I discovered on my own, and Bob O'Reilly is still my all-time favorite song to this day. It's a masterpiece. Another band with longevity whose music I can throw on shuffle and enjoy nearly everything I hear. And number 1, Queen, arguably one of the greatest frontmen of all times. No one compares to Freddie Mercury. Owen Edmondson. Mens. Top 5 bands? Are you shitting me? I can only choose 5. Anyway, Iron Maiden have had 5 lineups since 1980, so I was going to include all of them, but I'm not. From the 50s, The Shadows, a truly influential British band that played early pop rock guitar-based music. Hank Marvin influenced every British guitarist from 55 onwards. From the 70s, Zeppelin, 4 musicians that worked together to create some of the catchiest, most melodic and innovative music ever. Shout out to Black Sabbath. From the 90s, Nirvana. It was a close run between them and Pearl Jam, but in terms of influence, it could be no one else. And from the 80s, Iron Maiden. Sure, Metallica sold more records, but you don't get Metallica unless you have NWOBHM, and you don't get a new wave of British heavy metal without Iron Maiden. From the 1960s, number 1, who else could it be? The Beatles. Peace and love, Owen. Anthony, Too Cool for School. Flores, Jerry, you bastard. This top 5 is brutal. My top 5 bands of all time.
Yeah, it's difficult.
I'm removing the Beatles and the Stones from the equation altogether. At 5, I have Talking Heads. At 4, I have Depeche Mode. Coming at 3, it's a Police. At 2, it's U2, and at 1, this might be cheating. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Hey guys, everyone tries to take the Too Cool for School title from me. Remember this: Ant-Man and the Eternals, Blue Dicks. The overall MCU is great, but there's been some duds. It's perfectly fine. It's Marvel's fault for setting the bar so high. I'm looking forward to Loki season 2. Keep rambling, boys. Thank you, Anthony. He had to keep that. He knows people are gunning. People are gunning for that. The American Dream, Dustin Jacobs. Number 5, Nirvana. Number 4, Fleetwood Mac. Number 3, The Stones. Number 2, Zeppelin. Number 1, The Beatles. Eddie, this was really tough. Thank you all.
How do you do it?
How do you do it?
It's like you put them all in a hat and you pick them out. It's like you just...
So, I did just pure influence and half of these are pure influence, half of these are pure innovation, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So
mine are mostly not necessarily my favorite bands, but the ones I thought that were the most influential for the style of music they played.
Exactly. Yeah. So my honorable mention.
my
honorable mentions NWA. That's my honorable mention.
Oh, okay.
Because they basically pioneered an entire subset of the hip hop genre with the gangster rap, right?
Yeah.
For number 5, I go the Smiths, which was you. They were like the last band, I think, that didn't sound like anything else before them. That would be the Smiths. What was yours, number 5?
Third base.
Third base. Pop goes the weasel goes the weasel goes pop.
Third base.
That was my number 1.
That was your number 1. I would probably
Color Me Bad.
Living Color.
Living Color. Hey, they got some songs.
I'm gonna go number 5. I'm going to go Nirvana, just because, and they edge out Pearl Jam on this list, not because I like Pearl Jam better than Nirvana, but what Nirvana did for that whole. I don't think you get the other bands without Nirvana.
I don't bother looking into Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, any of them without
any of that. None of that I don't think has a chance without Teen Spirit.
When that song came on Headbangers Ball, I remember my cousin and I were like, what? It was just like, that was, I think for a lot of people in our generation, if you could find an Ed Sullivan Beatles, it was that. It was that on Headbangers Ball.
That video in the basketball gymnasium.
Yep.
Where they're all just
with
slamming
the
their heads
anarchy
around.
cheerleaders and just the chaos.
And then after that, you look at Alive, and then you go into Soundgarden, you go into Stone Temple Pilots. I mean, you don't have any of that stuff, I don't think.
So
Nirvana.
Nirvana got me into. I just listened to movie soundtracks back then for the most part, and then Nirvana got me into. I got way into it, and then Metallica.
The last album I bought before Nirvana, Nevermind, was the Wayne's World 2 soundtrack.
Yeah, right. And then so Nirvana, it was incredible, and then fucking and what I liked about it was like you could tell like all these bands, like especially a lot of that Seattle grunge shit, and Metallica, they could groove, like they. Yeah. It was definitely like skater kid music, but you could tell they listened to a lot of black artists growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you could dude, that is, if you remove the guitar, Even Flow is almost a funk song. If you just go especially
the way it starts.
Yep, it's just it had it had a groove. Like that's why I love that shit. But none of those bands I wanted to, but I went my number 4, I went Led Zeppelin. Who was your number 4?
That was my number 4.
Look at that. It was between them and Sabbath, and I think they just carried the torch a bit brighter.
And I know there's a lot of controversy with Zeppelin and about what they stole from people and all that other stuff.
They did, but
when you look back at that era of music,
it's them.
That's defined by them.
It's them. My number 4. This is, I think, for a band that's legendary, for a band that everyone has heard of, I think they're criminally underrated still. And that's Diana Ross and the Supremes. That's my number 3. What hit of theirs do you not know every fucking word to?
Right.
I mean, it's just,
if it hasn't been in a movie, it's been in a commercial.
It's been right. It's so that was my number 3. What's your number 3?
My number 3. What was my number 3? Shit, I had it and I just forgot it. Iron Maiden.
The Maiden.
My number 3.
There it is.
Because you don't get heavy metal.
Zeppelin kind of carried that torch for me, right? Zeppelin kind of has Maiden and Sabbath right next to him, right? For me,
okay.
But yeah.
Well, to me, it's just such a different feel and style of music, and I don't think Iron Maiden defines what heavy metal is to me.
Right. Zeppelin was more blues metal. Zeppelin was definitely more blues metal, whereas Maiden was just pure fucking heavy metal. Yeah.
Pure heavy metal from the way they dressed on stage, to the album covers, to everything they did was pure metal.
Just pure metal. That's great. That's some great shit right there. My number 2, the Rolling Stones. I think these are going to be the most obvious 1 and 2 here. But my 2 was the Stones. What was your number 2?
My number 2 was Queen. I went with Queen. It was between Queen and the Stones for these two.
Yeah. And Queen is definitely my top 10, probably top 7. But yeah, it's I went Stones just again because of just the, I mean, man,
longevity.
You thought Elvis influenced white guys to pretend they were black. Mick Jagger took the white guy pretending to be black to a whole nother. He was a pioneer. And yeah, I had to go Stones. And then the embodiment of cool. You know, for me, that was, but Queen, Jesus. You know a cool thing about Queen? They're the only band where every member has written a number one. Isn't that fucking amazing? Yeah. Every single member wrote a number one hit. That's fucking incredible to think about. My number one, no, what else? Beatles. Come on. Beatles. I couldn't even, what else are you going to do? Yeah. What was your number?
What's missing from everyone's top five?
What's that? CNC Music Factory. Kiss!
Because it's a garbage band, and I think we all just proved that. No one even mentioned it. Wasn't even a sniff. Not an honorable mention.
Not even honorable.
Kiss garbage.
See, I didn't do Springsteen because that, to me, it's a solo artist. I love
the
E Street Band.
I mean, I know there's the E Street Band, but yeah.
Right.
But I get number one band of all time. You have to. I gotta go Beatles.
Gotta go Beatles. Right. It's Beatles. Yeah. And then I was thinking, could we do number one solo artist at some point? But I don't know how James Brown isn't. Talk about the guy who just
is
changed.
Huey Lewis a solo artist? Is he in the news?
I mean,
is that a band or is that a guy?
That's
a Bruce Springsteen
That
question.
hurts the news.
Well, you're hurting the E Street Band. You're hurting the E Street Band.
I know that guy with the Coke bottle sunglasses for the news. Where does he go?
I mean.
Where does he go?
But when you think of Huey Lewis, you don't really think of the news.
No,
you think of Huey Lewis.
You just think of the Hughes. Hold on.
You don't think of the news.
And shouldn't you know?
Springsteen, you don't think of the E Street Band.
You just think, but there is Steven. There's little Steven.
I know. You see him, you picture him, but you think, it's the boss. That's what you think.
It's the boss. Nobody else chants for anyone else but Springsteen when they're playing.
When you go to the concert, you go, hey, I'm going to go see Bruce Springsteen.
I'm going to see Springsteen. No, you go see Springsteen. You just say Springsteen.
Right. When you see Huey Lewis, or when you saw Huey Lewis, it was, I'm going to go see Huey Lewis.
Where does Ya Kid K rank for you? Does Ya Kid K do it? Now let's run down all the bands on the Ninja Turtle soundtrack. Where... Technotronic. Where's Technotronic? How come why did they leave them off? Would you have been pissed if somebody put Kiss at number one? Would you have, maybe
I would have known they're just lying to try to fucking put them it's bullshit is what they were trying to do.
What if they put them at 5?
No, you can't put that band at 5. You can't put that band in the top 10 greatest bands of all time.
Okay, if you just go by pure cultural... pop culture success, and do you put them in the top 50? If you just go pop culture phenomenon include, if that's part of the criteria, are they in the top 50? Do they crack your top 50?
I honestly think Milli Vanilli had a bigger influence on pop culture than Kiss ever did.
Ooh, you might not be wrong.
I'm not wrong on that.
You might not be wrong.
I think Milli Vanilli had a bigger influence than Kiss ever did.
That's you might be. I mean,
take that, Kiss heads.
Take that. Next Ramble 358. Top 5 enemies who are now friends, like Cochise and the Three Amigos, the movie we never got. Cochise and the Three. We
In
never.
The end, you're friends.
Oh, the top 5 Cochise and the Three Amigos. So there we go. On the hat, superhero performance, movie, TV show. Fuck it. If you want to go radio. That's fine, too. Open, close, encore, Amy Winehouse, and top 5 friends, enemies. Enemies who are now friends. I think if it were reversed, the Mega Powers have to be number 1.
Yeah, Mega Powers up there, the Rockers.
Became enemies, the Rockers. But that didn't even have... Powers. But see, the Rockers, Jannetty couldn't bring his end of the bargain. You know what I mean? The Mega Powers headline Mania, for crying out loud. To settle their conflict.
They broke up the Mega Powers to sell out Mania. You broke up the Rockers Mania. To get Shawn Michaels over.
It was just Jannetty was a sacrificial lamb. Oh, but there we go. So all right, there we are. Top 5 enemies who became friends, like Cochise. So there we go. Thank you for tuning in. You know where to find us.
Your friend.
You know where to find us. You know where to love us. Do all that. Thanks for the emails. Thanks for this. Get your emails in. Ramble at theramblepod.com until Friday's Ramble Radio, which might have code. We'll see. Until then, we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. We love you.